Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your co-host Rich, alongside me as always, my co-host Runz.
Yes, sir.
So before we get started, I want to remind you that we're brought to you in partnership with pwpopnews.com, rohworld.com, and lastwordonprowrestling.com. And we're featured on the Wrestling to the Max network. Alright, so a huge week to get into. An excellent Monday Night Raw. One of the best go-home shows ever in SmackDown. And real excitement for another WWE pay-per-view this weekend. Am I right?
No. Couldn't be further from
it. This is one of those weeks where there are times I think we spend a good 20 minutes before, right? Kind of going over stuff, what we have to cover. This week, it was literally like, hey, so what are we going to talk about? That sucked. All right, let's go. And I mean, Raw, I thought Raw was so much better last week. Like, what happened this week that changed it?
What happened this week was that it was going up against Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and they knew that. And they started it off hot with Brock and Samoa Joe, and that was fantastic. I loved every second of that. And then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, I'm like having a hard time remembering everything that went down on Raw.
The only thing that I do remember specifically was the Enzo and Cass and the club match where Big Show came out to save Enzo and Cass was tight.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I don't understand.
Cass got knocked out again and with one blow to the back of the head, harder than he's ever been hit. So, like, they were definitely selling that, he's kind of making this up about the Big Show sort of a thing.
You think... So wait, so do you still think that it's Cass who's doing it?
Yeah, 1,000%.
So see? So what has Enzo done wrong then?
He doesn't know that.
But he's not doing anything wrong. What did he do this week? He just went and got someone that he knew he could trust, and then he questioned him afterwards.
Celebrating with him, like those, I don't know. They let Big Show talk bad about Cass.
Wow, I mean, so you can admit that you feel that Cass is the one who's being like awful and plotting all this stuff. However, you're still against what Enzo's doing.
Yeah, Enzo doesn't know that. He's just kicking his partner to the curb.
Would all right, we're gonna have to see how this plays out.
He could have went and just got any new tag team partner. He didn't have to get someone who's also has big in their name and is larger than his tag team partner. You know what I mean? Could have replaced him with anyone.
So if you were going, all right, I'm going to put this in terms that nobody else doesn't understand, but you and me, and possibly anybody else who played football with us. You're going to play in a championship. You're playing in a game, and let's say someone good on defense that we played with. I don't know. Let's say Douche gets hurt. Would you rather have Animal sub in or me?
But this is in terms of someone is already on the roster and is just substituting for an injured player, then it is what it is. But if someone was not on the roster and then we brought them on, I would not be a fan of that. I would rather ride with the people that got us there.
This is gonna be fun. When do you think this is gonna develop into? Do you think like SummerSlam?
Yeah, like I feel like SummerSlam could be Cass against Enzo or something like that.
In New York, be interesting. Yeah. All right. So there were some parts of Raw that were simply unbearable. Did you catch how many bear references Michael Cole made during that segment with
I,
Miz?
I zoned out
It
during that.
was.
I heard a lot of them. I enjoyed that for what it was worth. However, I don't understand why it wasn't a disqualification. The referee clearly saw the bear's face and that it was not Dean Ambrose, and then it was Dean Ambrose and he attacked the Miz. I don't. Isn't that a disqualification?
It's still a bear, man.
It was that just. It was just had to be a bear. That was the only qualification, not the original guy in the bear suit that we all saw his face.
Hey, you know what this episode of Raw does? This episode of Raw actually reinforces to me how much I need summer vacation. Because I need time to watch things that are not this. I have a small window when I get home before I fall asleep. And this... Look, I don't know. I haven't really been sold on Ambrose's character for a long time now. I'm not really liking this, for me, this hyper paranoid Miz. Okay, I don't think that you ever create a scenario where he's actually gonna break up with Maurice or something, right?
Right.
So I just don't understand what's going on. Like this whole, he knocked her off the apron, like she doesn't see it. Like I know they're heels, but it's also, I feel like as a couple they haven't fallen under the typical, like heels can't see how the other heel, made a mistake or something type thing. Like they've always been together. So this is weird.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that at all. I think it's it's a husband and wife, and she's just getting pissed off at the stupid things or the times he's putting her in danger, or that sort of thing. So I don't look at it. I guess the way that you're looking at it, I'm viewing it more as like she's just pissed off that he's messing up so much and ruining what she's putting in there. So I agree with you on the lack of interest in the Ambrose character for months, but this kind of him and the Miz is a good pairing, and they play off each other well. But I mean, I'm sick of watching it. But they're trying, I guess, to do weird and interesting things with him.
Is he going to get another title match?
I think he has one more, right? Like his rematch, and then that should be it. But like he's in two feuds at once, so they got to figure that out quickly.
Yeah, I oddly like the Drifter. Is that weird?
I don't know if I care because it's different, but it's kind of just whatever. It'll be interesting. I like that someone's getting wins over an Ambrose and stuff like that, but it's kind of half-assedly and it doesn't really help out.
All right, yeah. I guess it's just because I don't like Ambrose, so I'm happy to see somebody who's going over on him. I like Miz, so I kind of am done with. I don't know. I don't want to see Ambrose outsmart him and stuff. It's stupid because obviously that's what the babyface does, and that's what the heel's usually supposed to do. But I don't know. I'm kind of just disinterested in it so much that I just want to see Miz move on and go to something else. Who do you think?
Right, and I completely agree with that.
What does he move on to?
That's probably part of the problem.
I don't know how you make a guy champion and you don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, all of their top singles guys are intertwined into one storyline right now, so it'll be interesting to see what they do, where they go. Does he feud with someone like Balor, or is it someone else? Also, speaking of Balor, quickly, did you notice in that package that there was no Demon Balor, aside from the SummerSlam win? which like obviously they had to put him there because he won the Universal title.
I don't. What's going on with that?
I don't know. At the pay-per-view, we didn't come out with it, and if they're going to sell it as like only for singles matches or something like that, then I don't know. But there's been no mention of it. There's been no use of it, so I really don't know.
I just don't know. It's why it's one of the best parts about his character. I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, maybe you don't want to put him in the paint for him to lose that 5-way and whatever the case. So like, I get it, but for there to be no mention of it is a little strange.
Do you think they don't think it's marketable anymore, or are they just trying to make believe it's not something they do? I don't.
I could see the demon doesn't get hurt. God damn it, get rid of that. I could just see something like that,
That's stupid. All right, I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me a little bit. Is it? The state of Raw is such that okay. Is Titus O'Neil good enough that what is going on with him is just kind of enjoyable? Or is Raw that bad that I'm just looking for something?
No, I mean, I kind of am enjoying that Titus storyline too. Like, it's funny seeing these guys, like, forcefully in this role, and then, like, the kind of Stockholm Syndrome, they're just kind of buying into it. It'll be interesting to see if Tozawa sticks in there or he breaks free from it. But the part that always bothers me is the post-match selfie. Like, they're in the middle of arguing, and then the other guy just pauses and takes the picture. Like, you could just stop taking the picture. You don't have to be in it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that really annoys me. But other than that, it is what it is. It's a good way to get some of these undercard guys and midcard guys on the show and have some type of storyline. So, I'm all for that.
Yeah, no, I've actually really enjoyed it. So, what did you think about the main event before we move on? Because I'm not.
What was the main event?
2 out of 3 falls. Tag team
that
match.
was absolutely horrific.
Well, why was it so bad?
Because they drew?
I just don't. What is the point of this? Why is this the only team that they're fighting? I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the feud that's going on right now, but I don't understand why have 2 out of 3 falls if you're just gonna not have the third fall? And like it was done in such a lame way, like
Yeah, it was a double count out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I want to see what happens with the Hardys. I said it last week, but I'm interested to see what's going forward. All right. So now SmackDown.
Money in the Bank.
Just Money in the Bank. Fair. Yeah, I mean, SmackDown was better than Raw, at least. I will say that. I don't want to... But that backstage segment with Sami Zayn and Nakamura, that was really odd, no?
No, because that's the Sami Zayn character that they've been portraying on TV as he's just that annoying, weird guy, and I think they do a great job of it every time, because from everything that I've heard or watched, that's kind of how he actually really is. So to see it, turned up a little bit on the TV and other guys, poking fun at it, I think that's awesome.
I really don't think that he should be persecuted because he's a little different than everybody else. That's just, my personal opinion.
I love, Shinsuke, I like him. And AJ just, of course you do. Like, it was just, I enjoyed that.
AJ is kind of a jerk. I don't think I'd like hanging out with him. Just
okay.
on a personal... Why not like Sami Zayn? I mean, I don't know why they have to make him so kooky, but I don't know. It's kind of the same way I feel about the way they portray Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. I think some of the things that he, some of his rules and quirks are perfectly normal and make sense. So,
right, and just because you would live by them or you abide by the same rules, then doesn't mean they're not a little out there.
No. My personal life has nothing to do with my judgment on these two guys.
Right, absolutely. I also loved during the Fashion Files the picture of Sami Zayn that said generic. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was really good. All right, so let's see. Wow. By the way, if you go to the match preview on my apologies, WWE.com, the first, like if you read it from bottom to top, Money in the Bank 2017 tickets available now. It's Thursday. I've never seen that before pay-per-view when we do the previews, and we've been doing about 95 previews in the last couple weeks. So this is definitely new. I guess it's not selling well.
I'm not sure.
It's just weird. I mean,
could just be up there.
Yeah, no, but I mean, how? I don't know. I often don't see that. Anyway, especially just when they're doing like they're giving you the preview. It's just weird. So SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi is defending against Lana. Do you think this is going to be the worst match of the month, or do you think we'll be surprised that Lana's not god awful?
That's what I'm going into it anticipating. Is I don't expect much from Lana, but I do expect something, and I expect there's a reason why she's in this match. And the move that she hit on SmackDown, I thought looked great, and it definitely made me interested to see this.
Yeah, I'm going to go in with this being awful, and if it's anything but awful, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think you're in for a treat then.
All right. So you're going with Naomi or Lana?
I can't see Lana coming right in and winning, but putting her in this position and then having her lose, I don't know that helps. So I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go with Naomi. I don't think Lana should be champion, even if it's for just that night or whatever week. Mm-hmm. I don't care. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Usos are defending against New Day. New Day is not new, but at the same time, I don't think that they're going to come in and win the titles.
No, I think this one is more likely than the women's to have a title change, but I agree with you. The Usos have been on fire in this program, so let's let it continue and develop something else down the line.
Let's finish the other, what I think, predictable matches is the the other championship match. Jinder defending against Randy Orton. I would, unless this goes on as the main, which it's not, right? But if this were the main event, I could see Orton winning just to get cashed in by someone. Theoretically, right? But it's not the main. I think Jinder retains.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to put the belt back on Orton. So Jinder's been good with it. It's been entertaining. So I think taking it off of him already would just kill everything that they built up over the past 2.5 months.
Yeah, no, there's no reason why he drops the belt here.
He beats Orton in his hometown and gets all that heat. So I think it'll be Jinder in the win, no matter where it is.
Then you have the first ever women's Money in the Bank match. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Natalya versus Tamina versus Carmella. I mean,
this is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
because it's either going to be a cluster or it's going to be perfectly done. It's really going to be strange to see 5 women hitting each other with ladders and doing dives and big spots. It's really going to be entertaining to see, how this all plays out.
What I find, I wonder if this Money in the Bank match follows other Money in the Bank matches in terms of, most of the time the biggest guy in the match did not, or the biggest, I should say, the star, on the highest level didn't really always win. It was somebody else that you were kind of trying to push along. So I think that it kind of eliminates, for me, Becky or Charlotte winning.
I agree with you on that because, but if Charlotte wins, it's a big name to put over this match,
Yeah.
But I completely agree with you that it's Charlotte holding Money in the Bank is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Becky holding it is not her character. So I'll go ahead here and say I think it's going to be Carmella.
All right, so I think everybody in the world agree. Tamina. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think it's going to be Natty.
Yeah.
Maybe. I just feel like Carmella's just not there quite yet, but I guess with the whole...
Yeah, right. She got some wins over Nikki. She's had some issues with Naomi.
Huh.
So I think, she's a heel, and
Make
I
Ellsworth
think that'll
carry
make
it.
the most sense. Yeah.
Make him carry all her bags, including Money in the Bank, and then he acts like he has Money in the Bank. All right. Yeah, it's terrible, but that's going to be at least one segment where he's carrying it around acting like he's the Money in the Bank winner. If he wins it. She wins it, so I don't know. I'm going to still stick with Natty. I think your argument for Carmella is very sound and strong, and to be honest with you, it almost sways me, but I kind of feel like Natty is super obnoxious, and they'll spotlight her with that too.
All
right, and then you have the men's Money in the Bank match. So you have Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. When's the last time a face has won Money in the Bank? It's been a while.
I don't know who's won Money in the Bank recently.
What do you mean?
I can't remember who's won.
Okay.
Seth Rollins won, right? He was Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but he was a heel.
Was he when he cashed in on Brock?
I thought so. When he walked out of
I
Mania.
guess, yeah.
Right?
People went crazy for him, but I guess.
They were going crazy for him because...
No, I know. I'm remembering them going crazy. That's what's...
So the thing
Cena
is...
won it at a point, or I don't know.
Yeah, but it's so few and far between that you get a face to win. I think RVD won it, and he challenged Cena, right? You don't have that happen as much. I don't see...
It's not going to be AJ.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. You look at this and you would say AJ should probably win, but he's not going to.
No, I wouldn't say he should probably win at all. Well, I don't think he needs Money in the Bank at all.
Owens doesn't need it. He's got the United States title.
He could use it, though. He would be good with it.
Oh, he'd be great. I just don't... You think he's got the championship and the briefcase? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they're pushing... And I don't think Shinsuke should win it. Who do I want to win? Sami Zayn. I don't think that's going to happen. So that leaves me with Baron Corbin or Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph's not going to win it.
It's not going to be Dolph Ziggler.
So I think it's Baron Corbin, which just bores me to tears. I don't want him to win it. God bless you.
Thank you. No, I would agree with you on that. I think it comes down to Zayn or Corbin, and whoever they decide to put that on. But I don't disagree with either one. I really enjoy Baron Corbin, and he's in the prime for a nice push, and it could be interesting to see when a babyface gets that belt and Corbin is lurking around with the cash in. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then also hasn't Sammy's been going over on Corbin recently, so there's a part of me that feels like he's been winning too much. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I guess I'm not convinced that they're really pushing him to the top level. They just, I don't know. It's a little odd for me to watch him. I'm skeptical when he wins a lot. I'm like, oh boy, what are they setting him up for? I feel like he's gonna be like very close to grabbing the Money in the Bank, and then Corbin's just gonna break everyone's hearts and like destroy him. He's gonna crumple to the floor.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
All right.
There will also, I'm not sure if either at Money in the Bank or on SmackDown, there will be a big debut. I'm not sure if you want to even get into this or.
John Cena?
No, that's not a debut.
What are you talking about?
You ready?
Go ahead.
Ready for this? Some spoilers out there for our listeners. So if you don't want to hear, then skip forward for the next couple minutes. But the Miracle Mike Bennett and Maria are on their way and ready to debut, and full-time members of the SmackDown roster.
I didn't hear this. Wow,
yes, sir.
At all. This is confirmed. Like we know for
yes,
sure.
Sir. They've been signed for a while. Just I guess dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and now it's full go.
I am thoroughly excited. I mean, I liked Mike Bennett and Maria since they were in Ring of Honor, and I liked Maria before that. So I'm very excited, and I've been waiting for them. They've kind of been off the table. It feels like they could have been, Ring of Honor could have used them right now, for the last couple months, and I feel like WWE could have had used them for the last couple months. But maybe this is a good time. Things are kind of slow, and I think that they could make a. I hate that it's called Impact now. They could have a big effect on the product in a positive way.
Yeah, and talk about out of sight, out of mind, because there are two people that I forgot about. And, like with the Adam Coles and Dalton Castle and Donovan Dijak and Kyle O'Reilly and all the guys that we've had released recently, the McIntyre and Hero signing, and they kind of just went under the radar, and it was nice to hear their names and to see that they were going to be debuting, and it got me really excited to see if and when it happens.
So you said it's next week?
It's either going to be at Money in the Bank or on SmackDown, yeah.
It would be crazy if she comes out and joins Money in the Bank.
In the women's one, right? Yeah.
That'd be a really cool intro for her. I mean...
Right, but, it intrigues me because, is she the star or is he the star? So if you debut her in the match, then where does that put him?
Oh, like the guy that Vicky Guerrero introduced as a new boyfriend,
as
the last guy on the team.
Eric Escobar.
Eric Escobar, you are amazing, sir. Because there's no way I would have ever remembered that. They really went with Escobar?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, you're right. No, you're 100% right. The lack of names sometimes. Apollo Crews still kills me to this day.
At least that one makes sense.
It makes sense because Vince McMahon is like, well, he's black, so, you know who I really like from those Rocky movies that came out 35 years ago? I like Apollo Creed. And you know who else is black? That big guy who's also in movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terry Crews. You know those Expendable movies? Ha! I love those. So let's call him Apollo Crews. Like it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. You know what? When I think of Spanish people, not Castro. We've used that before. Escobar, that drug guy. And you know what? I like alliteration, so let's throw an Eric in there. Like, just fucking terrible. Like, he just... Alright. I don't know why I just did that, but it really irritates me sometimes with the names. But yeah,
anyway.
I think they need to be introduced as equals, but... No knock on Bennett. I just think that her personality is such that it shines through that they're definitely equals, and sometimes like she's a little in charge. No?
Like, no, I think that's part of the character that like you said, she gives off, but I don't ever really remember seeing them and saying like, oh, she's the one. Like, she's just the eye candy that solidifies him, you know?
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Like, even in TNA, like, it was, you know, his entrance was sick. It was all about him. So I really enjoyed his work there while he was there. And it's stupid on them for letting him go so quickly, and good for WWE on picking him up and, you know, hopefully debuting him in a nice way.
Oh, I think I'm looking forward to seeing them on TV. I've just missed seeing them because they left Ring of Honor, and then, you know, I didn't see them, so I'm excited.
Right.
Other than pictures, I'm excited to see them over here in WWE now. And then, so, I mean, kind of loosely related, you had Ring of Honor this week, had a kind of big episode of TV. You finally got to see the title switch of the television title. Kushida beat Marty Scurll. You know, kind of unexpected. It's actually a short match. If it's 10 minutes, you know, I'm surprised. It's just about 10 minutes or so. Well, it's not much over that. So they didn't really have a lot of time to work it out, and it just ended with Cole coming out dressed in the lights went out as Scurll's about to lock on the chicken wing, and suddenly the villain, whatever, Scurll's ring attire, someone wearing Scurll's ring attire is standing on the outside of the apron, and he goes over and takes the plague master the plague doctor mask off, and it's Adam Cole, and he's so shocked that he turns around because she hits him in a DDT, keeps it locked in, and goes and hits like the Back to the Future suplex brain busters like cradle thing. And then wins, and you're just like I was just sitting there like, this means that Scurll defended almost exclusively against guys who had no shot of winning, and then loses it just real quick on a thing with Adam Cole. And as a reminder, that match with Adam Cole will not air on TV, because apparently it was taped as some sort of YouTube exclusive.
Which still hasn't been on YouTube, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
So I'm a little... They were probably waiting for the episode or something. I don't really get any of this. I don't get why that's what Scurll's reign, his title reign was. It just didn't make any sense to me. And I know
it wouldn't shock me if he beats Kushida at Best in the World.
So you think he just takes it right back, yeah?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Because now there's no Adam Cole this time, and
I don't but you know how I feel about the title switching, especially Ring of Honor. There's no reason. If Scurll ends up winning it back, what was the whole point of that? Just for Kushida to hold it before he won the IWGP light heavyweight title?
Maybe.
I don't know. They have
not bad exposure.
Okay. I just hate when, personally for me, when a guy outside the company has a title, it doesn't sit well with me. I like to see them around more and everything, but I guess if he's going to drop it that quick, then you don't really need to see him around.
Yeah. You know, it's the TV title, and so like for it to not be on their video on demands or that sort of thing, it would be a little strange. You know, Kushida, of course, will be there for Best in the World, and then the subsequent TV tapings, I'm assuming. So
Yeah.
that's covered, but to not be on your other shows is a little strange when that's your secondary title.
I felt the same way when Ishii had the belt. So,
Right, and look at that. That was kind of a brief reign, wasn't it?
yeah. And it angered me as much, you know,
Right.
then as it does now. So, I
At
mean,
least I like Kushida.
yeah,
Ishii,
yeah.
like I
Okay.
get Ishii. I get the you know the appeal of it in Japan, but in America, the ROH TV champion, that didn't work out. That wasn't a appropriate marriage.
Yeah, his Marty McFlyness, Kushida's Marty McFlyness, definitely endears him to me more than Ishii. And you know, I don't mind him. I just mind the idea behind what they're doing with it.
Right.
And then what was kind of cool, you had Dalton Castle and the boys taking on Roppongi Vice. No, it wasn't. Not, I'm sorry.
The
Well,
Bucks, right?
no, I'm sorry. It was there were just two matches that night. You had Young Bucks and Adam Page taking on Roppongi Vice, and they had a special guest or like a mystery partner that ended up being Chuck Taylor. So I was like super excited. The crowd went nuts for them. Like it was the first match on the show, and they were just absolutely going insane the entire time. And I don't normally like 6-man tags, but this one was really good. There's this whole like segment of the match where the Bucks are trying to super kick Chuck Taylor, and first Beretta comes in and like takes one for him, and then Romero comes in and he takes one, and then he still gets super kicked, and then as he's about to get put up in the Meltzer driver, the Roppongi Vice is on the outside from getting super kicked. They pull down Nick, and then Chuck's able to win the match. So I mean, pretty strong debut. He wasn't just part of the winning team, but he actually got to hit his normal finisher and got a clean victory. So I hope he's going to be there moving forward. There's no announcement about Best in the World, but perhaps he'll be at the TV taping the night before. I mean, the night after. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And then, in a surprise, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but the Rebellion. So the Rebellion basically had a match with Search and Destroy. After the match, everyone ran out on both sides, and Alex Shelley ends up grabbing the mic and challenging the Rebellion to a match at Best in the World 4-on-4, and whichever side loses has to disband. So what happens to those guys? Like, what side loses? I mean, we can talk about that more next week, but I'm so confused.
I think pretty obviously the side that's not a real side. Like Gresham, Jay White, and the Machine Guns aren't a real team. So I think that would be stupid for them to win and disband the Rebellion. That's a real team.
I mean, Search and Destroy has been something that they've had together for a while, I guess. So I guess what my hesitation in thinking that they were gonna, not knowing who's gonna lose, is that does that mean the Machine Guns have to disband too? Does that mean all 4 members have to go their separate ways? What are the rules in this?
Well, yeah, I guess that's something that either they can clarify or not clarify for whichever works to their benefit. But whether they have to or not, Shelley hasn't necessarily been healthy in wrestling, right? So
Yeah.
maybe that's a way for them to write him off for a little bit, or whether it's just the Guns go their way and Gresham and White go theirs,
I need to know the rules. It makes me. I was shocked to hear it. To be honest,
Either way,
actually shocked.
I don't.
Because Search and Destroy is kind of newish, and the Rebellion, I think that group works together. I like that group of guys.
The Rebellion is a group. Search and Destroy is not a group. It's just it was a thrown together.
It's an idea. It's a frame of mind. Okay, it's a way of thinking.
Sure.
Like they're like-minded individuals who are together so that they don't get outnumbered by the other groups.
Okay, exactly. Thrown together.
All right. I mean, they did have two different members that already have left.
Thank you.
So, in Leo Rush and Donovan Dijak. So, okay. I guess I would have to agree with you, not just merely on your opinion, but it would be pretty much a fact. They do not have
Yeah,
the time
yeah.
together to really. Okay, fair. It's like I agree here. Now.
They're all singles. Gresham and White are singles guys, so it's not like it's a step backwards for any of them.
No, not at all. I hope they don't just fall to jobbing out randomly. I want them to be meaning that Gresham just signed. They just aired a video package for White that made him. It was kind of just one of those like, not exactly, but it was like a retrospective on how he's gotten to where he's gotten so far, which I think
Mm-hmm.
is something they should have done a long time ago. Make people care about him, like give him the, like that recent Roddy Strong video. I thought was really effective, and people have gotten like my wife watched it and she was like really into it. Like, oh, I want to know more about this guy.
I'm pretty sure we discussed this before, but White is on his pilgrimage, right? Like for New Japan.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't. I think he's still on excursion. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I mean that's the thing that bothered me, right? Like after I was finally enjoying Tamagotchi, then he gets, then he's off excursion. He goes back and he's gone. So I don't know.
Right.
All right. Do we have anything else?
Don't believe so.
All right. Rather short week. There are some WN shows coming up this weekend. You have FIP is on Saturday, and you have Style Battle on Friday. I think the biggest things to say about those are that Riddle's going to be there, which is the first time the WWE champion is appearing at another WWN, right? Like company,
Show.
yeah, show. So that'll be interesting. But and I generally always
Yeah, MJF, and he'll be there, right?
yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. Local guy, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I mean, we've known him back when he was, Maxwell Jacob Feinstein. So it's been a while. So it's kind of cool to see a local guy, kind of get that a little bit of a bigger spotlight down there. So I'll definitely be checking it out. But that's really, and then of course we got Money in the Bank. So we got another wrestle-filled weekend. And
just quickly, there was some rumors of Kurt Angle possibly facing Triple H in the not so distant future, maybe SummerSlam or something like that. So maybe that'll be part of this Angle Grave stuff, or even just the power struggle between Triple H and Angle or Stephanie. And also Braun Strowman is looking to be back sooner than later, so it'll be nice to see him back and see where they slot him in.
yeah, no, I miss him. I don't want to see Kurt Angle versus Triple H, but I'm done with seeing Triple H face guys. Anyway,
I mean, it's not like he's facing a young guy.
No,
I don't
yeah.
mind him facing Angle.
I don't know. I'm sick of these old timers. I know it sounds terrible, but I'm not that interested right now in seeing Triple H. I don't want to see him. Like I'm sick of having to see him get back into the ring and then buy him as a corporate guy. Just kind of stay out. And nothing against him.
I disagree with that. He's one of the biggest, best stars of all time, and I don't mind. Like he's still around. He's still involved heavily in everything, and knowing his actual political, side of it, and that he actually has the company job and all that sort of thing, I think it just kind of makes it feel, I don't know, different, cooler than whatever. But I don't know. I enjoy watching Triple H. I always have, and when he's around, things pick up a little bit, and there's a little different intensity. So whether it's him and Angle or he gets involved with someone else down.
All right, well, fair. I mean, I can understand why people would be excited. It's just something that it's kind of run its course for me. All right, well, if I think that's really everything this week. We have a little bit of a slow week. I just want to thank you guys for joining us, as always. Make sure if you guys have any comments, questions, we love when you guys send us questions, trivia, and stuff like that, or just topics that you want us to discuss. We're totally open. Send them over to runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at runningwildlws. You can find us on Facebook at Running Wild on Wrestling. Make sure you guys stop over at runningwildpodcast.com, where you can catch all our back interviews. If you're on iTunes, please take a second out to go rate and review. That stuff really actually matters, and we really appreciate it. We know a lot of you guys are listening, so just head over. It takes like 1 minute. Leave us a pretty awesome review, and we appreciate it. You can follow me over at Rich_Laconey on Twitter, and find my articles on mostly Ring of Honor over at pwponderings.com, rohworld.com, and last word on prowrestling.com. Well, with all that out of the way, I just want to, by the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you guys enjoy this episode while you're sitting back doing nothing and making the kids do all the work. Well, I just want to remind you guys that you've been listening to the podcast that is just too sweet.